Okay, this is W5FRT. I know you've seen how to put a coax connector on. Perhaps if they do it this way, I don't know. I'm just going to show you my way of doing it. This is a connector I've already put on. As you can see, I solder it on the ground and I solder the end of it. After soldering here, I trim it off with a pair of cutters, and I take a file and I filed off the little sharp burrs so you don't have any issues when you insert it into the radio. Okay, I'm going to show you how to do it. I have the other end of the coax now, and I've already checked this out with a continuity meter to make sure I don't have a short from center to ground. So I have this here. I've already slid the connector part onto the cable. It goes onto here, and it's going to go all the way to the other end. And I'll bring it back. I want to show you. I just slide it on here. This is RG213, and here's the connector. And as you see, it wants to walk clear to the other end. Don't forget to put this on first. And it goes on with this ring on the back. It goes on like this with the open end and the threads facing the connector. Okay? We'll just drop that. Here's the connector. I use that as a guideline. I'm going to have a little extra, so I'm going to slide it back to here. Since I'm going to tighten it down on this part of the insulation, I don't want to cut it off here. I want to cut it off right where the ground's going to be. So approximately here is where I need to take this pipe cutter that came from Taiwan, but it will and I use that to cut the insulation here on the outside first. I use it just to go around and just cut through the outside conductor only. Just the insulator, I'm sorry, the outside insulation. I just cut through that, run it both ways, just to score it, and cut through it. And you can feel when it gets loose that it's doing its thing. Okay, if I don't go clear through, I can always take a sharp knife and go back and catch that later on. Okay, now I dropped the connector, there's no problem. Okay, so I've cut through that. I'm going to move up now approximately 1/4 of an inch right here, and I'm going to tighten it down. So let me go ahead and tighten this down. Okay, as you can see, I'm back about 1/4 of an inch. Alright, now this one goes all the way to the center conductor, if it will allow you to get there. Usually I find this outside insulation will want to back away from it as you're cutting, but I just spin it, tighten it down a little more, keep spinning so I can get that. And I'm going to cut right through this outside conductor, the stranded part. I'm going to go right through that and right on into the inside insulated product. And we'll just keep cutting, turning it back and forth. At least it's going to score it right where I want it. Okay, now you can see it's backing away. That's okay, don't worry about it. It'll do that. So now it's still trying to cut right there. I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop here and take my side cutters that I have in the drawer here, little sharp cutters, over the wastebasket. I'm going to cut through the insulation right here. Cut through the outside conductor. Just snip it all the way around. The pair of cutters isn't working like I want. I'll use these. You hear it cutting? Just cutting the outside shield all the way around to make sure I don't have any burrs or anything like that. When I strip this off of here, I should have nothing but just the center insulator on here. And that's all. Now I'll start working it loose and see if I have any strands that need to be trimmed, like that one right there. And see if I have any more. Okay, I don't. So when I strip this off, now all I have is a center conductor. The insulation is still on it. I'm going to trim that off as well. And I'm going to trim it right here where the ground is. Now I have a pair of cutters that you use to take the insulation off a wire. Unfortunately, they're out in the car, getting ready to do some work on the car, so I left them out there. But you can use those, or you can just use cutters like I am right now, and pry this apart right here. Just cut the outside conductor, excuse me, the outside insulator off of the center conductor. And once you have it trimmed up close enough, you think you've got it then I can grab a hold of it with these to keep that center from backing out of here. I'm going to tighten that down real quick, and I'm going to take these and just pry that off right here. Use that to pry this apart right here. Oops. As you can see, it wants to come out of there. But here, I'm simply going to get this out of here. I'm going to stop the video right now, and I'll go ahead and pry this out, and then we'll start again.